So I congratulate Kirsty Coventry. She has done an amazing campaign. The result is clear. So I just so this one she wants. Yes, I was surprised. With just one vote over the but it's I was surprised.
Mark is coming.
No, not yet.
Θα το παίρνω εδώ, αλλά και πώς.
Το θέμα. Έχει τον Μπαχ. Έχει τον Μπαχ. Μπορείς να ρωτήσεις, Αγγέλη, μπορείς να ρωτήσεις αν έχει τον Μπαχ. Αν έχει τον Μπαχ. Έρχεται. Έρχεται.
Ναι, τώρα που έρχεται που δίνεις μία.
Can we have a sound check, please?
Με το μικρόφωνο.
Yes, please.
Ωραία, το χρειαζόμαστε.
Okay, thank you so much.
Paris Games were so amazing at those balls. I'm sure Winter Games will be the same. So we want to bring some fresh air to the Olympic Games. Which has to be can have some personal feelings on elections, and we know they were not forced to work for business, so they Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, we need some presents.
Ah, ok. Yeah. D'accord. That's fine. That's fine. Πρώτα λίγο εδώ την κάμερα.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the President's going to make a statement and take 2 or 3 questions. So, President of the IOC, Thomas Bach.
Good afternoon to all of you, and I would like to congratulate Mrs. Kirsty Coventry for her election as the 10th President of the IOC. I think she will have a very strong mandate with this clear win in the first round, which is also giving a great signal of unity of the Olympic movement. And you know how much important I consider this unity of the Olympic movement to be. So she can count on the support of the IOC membership. You saw the reaction there in the room. And now I will invite her for a 3-month period of transition in the administration. We have everything prepared for this. Now it is up to her to accept and in which format to accept this invitation, so that she can take over then on the 24th of June, well prepared, and can start working, because Milano Cortina does not wait.
Is it a surprise for you in one term only?
It is a surprise, but it is a strong signal again of the unity of the Olympic movement. I did not manage to win in the first. I had this campaign. I have said what I had to say about the profile I see for my successor in Paris, because I felt obliged to tell this to the members who were expecting from me that I would be ready to extend my mandate. And I have nothing to add to this statement, and I did nothing add to this statement.
Will she walk on a pathway that you expect?
Sorry,
Okay, can we put it this way? That will she walk on a path with you paved, basically, because it's like a way that you've paved so far. This is going to be that you continue basically the pathway you have paved so far.
I hope that I would have hoped for every of the candidates that they can benefit from the level we have achieved in the IOC in different fronts when it comes to supporting the athletes, when it comes to the commercial success, when it comes to sustainability, and when it comes to good governance. So there she's at the same starting point as every other candidate would have been.
6 men, 1 woman. 6 men, 1 woman, and no women. She was elected. Historic time for the IOC. What is your take on this? Is it something that you were predicting? Is it something that you see it coming?
I think we should not reduce this election to the fact 6 men, 1 woman. You have seen a campaign with different proposals, with different approaches, and you have a clear vote on these different proposals. I don't think that this was a vote on the women against men or the other way around. There were the manifestos, there were the presentations in Lausanne, and now the voters have made their judgment.
One more question, last question, please.
What does it mean to have a woman as the most powerful person in sport?
I just said what it is. The most important is to have a personality with leadership qualities, a personality which is reflecting the opinion and the values of the IOC session, of the IOC members, and a personality which is able to unify. And this Kirsty Coventry has done today with these 49 votes.
Beyond the IOC, what's the message to the world that the IOC has a female leader now?
That's up to you to judge. You know, now I'm concerned with the IOC and with the Olympic movement, and there we have a new president, and everybody is standing behind this new president, and it was also very impressive to see, having spoken with one or the other of the candidates who did not make it, who were emphasizing right away that they would be ready to support her and to rally behind her. And this is the true Olympic spirit. This is how we want to see this Olympic movement growing and leading by example.
Guiding her throughout this challenging time, because being president of the top sports association is not easy.
But like all the other candidates, she has experience. She has been sitting in the IOC executive board for quite some years. She was chairing the athletes commission at very troubled times with the athletes. She is a successful minister for a couple of years, so she has a leadership experience. And what I am offering to her is what I had offered to all the other candidates. I have yesterday sent an email to all the 7 candidates and saying, the one of you who will be winning, I would like to have breakfast with you on Friday morning so that we can start talking and to see how we shape this transition period.
When you began your career with the IOC, President Bach, in the early 80s, back then, could you ever envision that there someday would be a female president?
Quite frankly, I did not think about this at the time.
How would you treat yourself on a scale from 1 to 10?
Not at all. Sorry?
Emotional for you? That
What?
Emotional. The emotion, as we saw yesterday, that it's the beginning of the end of your tenure.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the end, and you saw today how they made me a lame duck already after the election. They turned my microphone on. I hope that this does not happen every time in the next 3 months when I want to speak. But I think I'm prepared for this role. I have preparing myself since 2021 for this because there it was clear 4 years more and that's it. And therefore I'm even if yesterday it was very emotional and as I said it did not always look like it. I'm very happy and relaxed.
Lord Crowe said that perhaps the election wasn't transparent enough, the whole process. Was it a fair election?
This was an extremely fair election. The same procedures they're applied for all the candidates, and you know there's a good democratic rule. When you don't win an election, don't blame the voters and don't blame the procedure.
Will you support Kirsty Coventry with advice after June 23? Will you support Kirsty Coventry with advice after you leave the office?
Whether I will?
Will you support and help her with advice?
No, like as I just said, I have offered this support and help to every of the 7 candidates. And now it's up to the newly elected president to accept this invitation or not to accept this invitation. And we will have a first talk there. I don't know whether she has accepted the invitation yet to the breakfast, but I hope she does, if she does not celebrate too long. But
She's breastfeeding, so probably not.
could very well be, but then we will discuss on how to proceed, you know, with this transition.
Is she the right person to protect women in sport?
Sorry?
Is she the right person to protect women in sport? There's been lots of debate beforehand.
Yes.
Une question en français, s'il vous plaît. Qu'est-ce que ça représente pour l'avenir du sport, une femme africaine à la tête du CIO? Une réponse en français, s'il vous plaît.
I think this. Non, je dois respecter tous vos collègues. Non. Non, mais ils n'ont pas posé cette question-là. Alors, je vais faire les deux, si vous. Ça représente la globalité du mouvement olympique et la diversité. Moi, j'étais le 9e président du CIO et on était 8 de l'Europe et un des États-Unis d'Amérique. Et maintenant, on représente la globalité du mouvement olympique avec ces 206 comités nationaux olympiques.
You said the breakfast menu tomorrow that you invited her. Not what you're going to eat, but what else is on the menu?
Let her first. She hasn't even accepted yet. So, and you know, there will be free choice. You know, I realized here that Greek breakfast is really.
He was quite forward at the beginning of this journey. So how do you?
I think it's for all the candidates. It's not just you know for one of the candidates. The result is clear. The voters have made their judgments on the different proposals having been made on the different projects. And now I can only call on all the 6 candidates to rally behind the newly elected president and to support her, so that this unity, which we have seen in the vote, is maintained, and that now the Olympic movement can address the new challenges. And I'm very confident in this because I've been talking to one of the other candidates. Can I reveal a name? One with David Lapatien standing here, who came right after the election and said that now we all have to support the president in the true Olympic spirit, and this shows the personality and the great sports personality of David Lappartient, but I have also heard it from others.
You have 3 months left. We've heard from Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin speak that they might try to use sport to bring the countries together. Have you been asked by Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin to help in that situation in your final months?
No, that's politics, and there we are out, and we will keep our political neutrality. And as far as the relations with the United States are concerned, and with President Trump and the administration, you may have heard today that our friends in US have established very good relations, both the organizing committee and USOPC. Therefore, there is no reason for the IOC in any way to take action or to interfere in this. The organization is in the hands of our American friends, and we have full confidence that they will deliver great Olympic Games, as they again have confirmed today. So for the IOC, neither for the outgoing nor for the incoming president, any reason to undertake any steps, and for the Olympic movement, no reason to become nervous at all. So thank you very much.
Time with the media, President Bob?
Sorry?
You miss your time with the media.
I'm sure.
My heart is bleeding already now. And all the best.
We'll see more of you. We'll see more of you after Coventry gets into office and runs the IOC.
You may see me in the stadium enjoying sport and the athletes, and of course press conferences at the moment.
Please. What are we doing now? We're doing UK media first.
Είναι τα βρετανικά μίδια εκεί τώρα, γίνεται σκοτάνα. Κάτσε Σάβα, κάτσε. Yes, we would like to. Θα τον φέρουμε εδώ,
Σίγουρα, θα έρθει. Οκ.
Εντάξει.
Ναι.
Έχει το Reuters ωραία αγόρια, ρε παιδί μου.
Τι κάνεις?
Καλά.
Κινητό, la musica. Κινητό. Πού είναι το βουμά? Το βουμά. 在那呢，一会儿过来。OK。Sorry. Δεν μας πειράζει, έχουμε εμείς.
Απλά για το χώρο, για να πω εγώ εκεί καταλάβεις. Αν δεν πάει.
Πάρτε μου στη πλάτη.
Ah oui, d'accord.
Περίμενε.
κρατήσει την κάμερα. Ναι.
Is this yours? Are you going to take it?
Yes.
Can
I take it out?
Yes, you can. Wait. Να μπει ο Βαγγέλης στη μέση να κάνει ερώτηση. Να βάλουμε το Βαγγέλη εδώ να ρωτήσει.
Να βγω εδώ να ρωτήσω.
Θα φύγει ο You won't come in my hair. He'll come here, yeah. He will be here. Yes, you finish.
I'm going to go down.
It's not started.
It's not started, but how can we get them quick in their cards?
At the lobby of the golf club. It's at the lobby of the West End.
I'm going to go.
But her interview hasn't started yet.
No. Okay. No, it hasn't started yet. We've got the slate up for the moment. It hasn't started yet. So you've got a bit of time, and basically she still needs to get out of the room. So the 10 minutes is really more 15 than...
No. Come over here.
International TV here. Thank you.
Well, the obvious reaction, I'm absolutely delighted for Kirsty. You know, we've got an athlete at the head of the organisation. That's a good thing. We chatted actually about that only a couple of weeks ago and agreed that that would be the preferred outcome, and that's what's happened. So I congratulated her, and you know, she's got a huge job, but she will have the confidence of the athletes, and that's very important.
It's a surprise in only one term. Is it a surprise for you? Only one term.
It's very difficult to make any interpretation at the moment. I think what is pretty clear is that the athletes and the women members in particularly supported her very strongly in the first round, and you know, those things happen in elections.
And you're happy with the process? Because you had
Now, look, I'm sure Kirsty will want to look at that process, and I know that she will probably discuss it with all the other candidates, and we'll give our views.
How can it improve?
Oh, that's for other days, and that's now her challenge.
What does the next day bring for you?
The next day, I fly to China for the World Indoor Athletics Championships, back into the heart of the sport.
Would you be behind the new IOC president supporting her, whatever you?
Of course, yes. I mean, I'm a member of the International Olympic Committee. She's the newly elected president. She deserves our support, and she'll get it.
And she's the first woman. How does, it's a very historic moment.
It's a very historic moment, and that is good too.
Do you think there's any pressure from Parliament for people to...
I have no idea. An election is an election. You can only focus on what is in front of you. I spent good time, and it's been a really good process. I've got to speak to all the members, most of them face to face, lots of the organisations outside the movement, and my manifesto was really a curation, a synthesis of all those views, and it was a prospectus I put forward. I have a very clear view, which I think I've expressed about what the challenges are and what the movement needs to address. But, Kirsty will, I'm sure, want to deal with the same issues. Sorry?
Your name was playing really high up, leading to these elections. Knowing the outcome right now, how do you feel?
Elections are not an exact science, believe me. So, it's what it is. I'm not going to sit there trying to dissect stuff, on the back of a napkin.
You're normally quite good at winning elections, aren't you? So what?
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. You enter any competition, there's no certainty of outcome.
You said you were delighted for her. How do you sort of measure your own disappointment?
No, I don't. I'm actually very, very pleased for her. As I said, we had the conversation actually very recently about the importance of an athlete being at the helm of the organisation, and she will get our support, and I know she'll get the support of the athletes, which is critical. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the press conference is set to start in around 5 minutes. Thank you. Also, those people who are wanting the Bark press conference, it's now being refed. Thank you.
Quite a lot of you turned up this evening. Thank you. Good to see you all. It is United Nations International Day of Happiness today, in case you didn't know, which seems quite appropriate. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you the President-elect of the International Olympic Committee, Kirsty Coventry, and President-elect will say a few words, and then we'll go to Q&A as quickly as we can. So, over to you.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening to you all. I just wanted to start off by really thanking the IOC members, the membership, the trust and confidence that they have put into me. It's a huge honor. I'm really looking forward to serving our movement. I also want to thank the other candidates. It was an incredible race. And through this journey of 6 months, there were so many very good exchanges amongst all members, including candidates. And I'm really looking forward to bringing them together, sitting down and identifying some of the very good ideas that we've all shared and realizing how we can work together to move those ideas forward. So thank you very much for being here, and happy to answer some questions.
Okay, as usual, if you'd like to indicate, we can take a question. Okay, first one looks like David Owen there, I think, at the back. David.
Thank you, Mark. Congratulations, Kirsty. When Thomas Bach was elected in Buenos Aires, we were treated within about 10 minutes the spectacle of a Russian official racing across the foyer with a mobile phone with Vladimir Putin on the end of it. I wonder whether you've yet received greetings from prominent politicians, and if so, who was the first to congratulate you?
Thank you. I've actually just picked up my phone. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I really spent time, and again, I was very, I think, overwhelmed by all the congratulations from the members. And then what I'm looking forward to is jumping on the phone with my parents. So they will be the first phone call that I will be making after this.
Okay, Rachel Axon down here. Just down here. Yep, thank you very much. And then we'll go to Wakako.
Yes, hi Kirsty, Rachel Axon, Sports Business Journal. You didn't stress this during the campaign, the difference of you being the first female candidate, the first from Africa, but those certainly have informed your life experiences. I'm wondering how those will inform how you will operate in this role.
100%, thank you. Well, I'm extremely proud of both of those different identities that make up me. And I'm grateful as well to have been given a platform to work extremely hard over the last 6 months with IOC members to really, as you said, make sure that they know who I am and what values I hold dearly. And it wasn't just about being a woman or being from Africa. I'm so grateful that the members saw more than just gender or where I come from.
Okay, let's go to Wakako, and then we're going to go to Tarek in the back. Yep.
Thank you, Kirsty.
Hi.
Wakako Yuki from Yomiuri Shimbun. Congratulations indeed.
Thank you.
Were you, in a way, how are you aware of the seismic significance that indeed you made history today? And also, in a sense, when a new era is opened in history, often the cases there are very strong gain wind. You would have headwind, and you are no stranger to those situations in your career. What is your wisdom to deal with it? And lastly, if I may, 3 months of transition. What would you like to learn from President Bach, especially his philosophy being the president of the IOC?
Thank you. Well, this is a first in our movement, if I can start with your last question, where we have a proper handover transition, which I believe is so important. There will be numerous discussions over the next 3 months, but I'm looking forward to that. President Bach is leading our organization and has led our organization extremely well over the last few years. Not always easy, as many of you know. There's been many difficulties that he's overcome. So I would like to be able to have those conversations with him on, how he decided to tackle those and what advice he could give me for the future in terms of that. In terms of the significance of being the first woman, being the first African, I have to say that there have been incredible women that have come before me. One of them sitting in the room today, which I might get a little emotional about, with Anita de France, a huge inspiration to me and to many women. And I was just really proud that I could make her proud. She was the first woman to run for this position. And like I said, she inspired me. She's been a huge mentor of mine since I came into the movement in 2013. And it is significant. I think it will take a little bit of time to truly set in. But women like her paved the way for women like me. And I want to pave the way for younger generation, especially because I have 2 young daughters. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to Tarek, and then we're going to come across to you, sir, and then you, sir, and then we'll come back over here.
Tarek, yeah, just here. Yeah.
Evening, Kirsty.
Tarek.
You've got to get to work now. Now you've got this bit. Can I ask?
Yes.
Not this evening.
Lots of things in your in-tray. May I just ask about 2 of those? Mm-hmm. You're going to have to, at some point, go to the White House and deal with Donald Trump in this moment where, a lot of the world is uncertain about how America is acting. A lot of people in the world are uncertain whether they can even get into the United States. Now, with the Los Angeles Olympics, what is your message to the world? Is it a safe place for people all over the world to get into? And what will you tell Donald Trump? And the second big thing in your in-tray is the World Anti-Doping Agency. In the past, it seems certain states have been given preferential treatment, maybe. Does the IOC have a role to play in getting the credibility of the doping system back? And what is your plan for that? You served on the ITA board. Thank you.
Thank you. Firstly, when it comes to anti-doping and being a former Olympian, no, not former, an Olympian and a former athlete, it's incredibly important, and everyone should be held to the exact same standards. Our athletes are held to the same standards, and the entire movement around them should be held to the same standards. That's something that I will not waver from. It's very important for me that happens. And we may have a bit of work to do to make sure that actually is put into place. But one of the congratulations that I received was from the WADA president and vice president and director general, and we'll have a strong working relationship. In terms of your first question, when it comes to the USA and LA, I have been dealing with, let's say, difficult men in high positions since I was 20 years old. And first and foremost, what I have learned is that communication will be key. That is something that will happen early on. And my firm belief is that President Trump is a huge lover of sports. He will want these games to be significant. He will want them to be a success. And we will not waver from our values and our values of solidarity and ensuring every athlete that qualifies for the Olympic Games has the possibility to attend the Olympic Games and be safe during the Olympic Games.
Okay, gentleman here. Yep, just that. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Elias Makori from Kenya. congratulations, Kirsty.
Thank you.
I could be wrong, but looking around, there's barely any African journalists covering these elections. I doubt if there's a Zimbabwean journalist here. Does that show you the challenge that you have to spread the Olympic movement in Africa? And do you think Dakar 2026 will be a good place to start? What are your thoughts about perhaps in your presidency, Africa getting a chance of being voted to host an Olympic Games?
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I think Dakar 2026 is, as they have said, going to be welcoming the world. I have been chairing that commission for the last few years, and I'm really proud and excited of the work that they're doing, and I know it's going to be an incredible time for the world to see who we are as Africans and what we mean and what we stand for, and how we are willing to embrace everyone. And in terms of the work, there's always work that we need to do. But this honor that I've been given to serve our movement is going to allow for us to have a greater reach into new regions, but also to shine a light onto new regions. And this is part of the uniqueness of the Olympic movement, the diversity that we all have. And I truly believe that this decision today is showing that universality and that globalness of our movement.
Okay, gentleman in the stripy jumper there with his hand up. Yeah, just here. Yeah, and then we'll come across to you, sir. I think you wanted a question.
Hi, Kirsty. Congratulations. You've obviously had a huge amount of support from female IOC members, possibly Nita Ambani. Do you agree that now it won't be a good look if India's 2036 bid is accelerated to targeted dialogue before President Back leaves office?
Well, I would like to have a little bit of let's let this sink in and talk some work in a few days. But at the end of the day, there is a process in place, and that process has been ongoing, and that will remain for as far as I know for the next few months. I do think that we need to involve the members in the selection of future hosts, and I have a few ideas, and I'm willing to share those with you maybe next week or the following.
Okay, gentleman here in the red jumper, and then lady in blue, and then we'll come over here to Rob. Yeah.
Hi. Kirsty, congratulations to Sashi Sharma from Sport Intern. I hate to give you another big subject to deal with, but the issue of protecting women in sport has been obviously one that's much talked about now that we have our first female president. Does that slightly change the shift from the IOC's point of view? Because up until now, certainly in terms of, say, transgender athletes, the IOC has pretty much left it to federations to decide on how they want to go about with that particular subject. Thank you.
Thank you. I have answered the question many times in the last few months, but my stance is that we will protect the female category and female athletes. I want to work together with the international federations. I want the IOC to take a little bit more of a leading role, and we're going to do that by setting up a workforce, a task force that will look and analyze everything. We don't need to redo the work. The IFs have done the work. But we are going to bring everyone together, sit down, and have a little bit more unity in the discussion.
Okay, yep, lady there got the microphone.
First of all, congratulations, and today is a day of a celebration. And allow me to quote from an interview we just done not long ago, when you said that you had to grow a thick skin sometimes to be able to bear those kind of difficulties and sometimes accusations that you came across with during this campaign. So the question is, how heavy that backpack that you're putting down today? And of course, I wonder if you had a chance to talk to your husband, your family. So what about their support? And did you have a chance to sort of have a word with them?
I have. I got to give my husband a big hug and kiss my kids. So that was really, really special. I don't know if my little girl, she just came running up, well, my eldest, and she said, "Mom, you won." I don't know. I don't think she knows what that means or how it's potentially going to change our lives. But they have been incredible. I have an incredible husband. I have an incredible support network, and I wouldn't have been able to have been sitting up here today without them. So I also want to thank them and acknowledge that.
So how heavy that backpack is that you're putting on today?
Well, you know, we've got work to do, but I'm really excited about that work because there's so many incredible opportunities that we have as the Olympic movement to really bring unity, especially in a very divided world today.
Okay, Rob at the back there, and then we'll come to gentlemen here. Yeah.
Hi. Congratulations, Rob Harris from Sky News. This issue does come up a lot, but Donald Trump has said transgender women should be banned from women's sport at the Olympics. Will you comply with him, or are you willing to stand up to him and say you won't be ordered around? And just, you know, more widely, are the biggest issues for you dealing with this gender eligibility issue, as well as all the controversy around Russia's potential return to sport?
I think there's a number of different challenges that we're going to face as the Olympic movement, and we're going to tackle those together. So in terms of Donald Trump, again, it's going to take communication. As I just said, we're going to create a task force that's going to look at the transgender issue and the protection of the female category. And once we've made the decision collectively as the IOC with the international federations, that decision will be made very clear, and we won't move from that decision.
Okay, and Russia.
Well, again, you know, I believe at the end of the day, we need to do anything and everything to protect and support athletes from all conflict areas. We have numerous conflicts, and a number of them happening on my continent. So, again, we need to sit down as the Olympic movement and have a very serious conversation around how are we going to deal with more and more conflicts, and how are we going to protect and support athletes that are coming from these conflict areas.
Okay, gentleman there, and then we're going to go to Graham and his neighbour.
Perfect. Hello. First of all, congratulations. Historic moment. First female being the head of the IOC, the top body of sports in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Bach navigated the IOC through some very difficult times with COVID-19 pandemic, global tensions. Unfortunately, things today seem to be a little bit similar, if not even worse. First, how would you be able to tackle these issues, and what would be the next day of you? You know, there's a lot on your shoulders. And then one other thing, there are some criticisms and concerns about your political affiliations in Zimbabwe that have been raised. But, you know, now being the head of the IOC, perhaps there might be even more spotlight onto that. What do you have to say about it?
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I've never, ever been successful as an individual. I've been successful because of a team. And what I've learned most over the last 6 months is I have an incredibly strong team within my membership. They are incredible people with many experiences, a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to lean on all of them. We're going to make decisions together. We're going to support each other. And for me, that's the only way that I'm willing to work. In terms of my country, I chose to want to try and create change from the inside. It gets criticized, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, I don't think you can stand on the sidelines and scream and shout for change. I believe you have to be seated at the table to try and create it.
Okay, let's go to Graham just here, yeah, and then gentleman next to him.
Thank you very much. Graham Dunbar from the AP. Congratulations, Kirsty. A question about athlete benefits. Back in the day at FINA, the swimmers had to, have a lawsuit in California before the prize money was increased. There hasn't been a lot of progress on relaxing Rule 40 on commercial issues, but Juan Antonio says that's easy to do. You can give athletes control of their footage, relax the broadcasting restrictions. What kind of tangible, better commercial deal might the athletes in Milan Cortina and Los Angeles be offered?
Well, thanks, Graham. Again, what I would like to do is at least take tonight to let this sink in and enjoy it. But what I do want to do is, as I mentioned before, is bring all candidates together and sit down and share some of these ideas that we've all had and put them down on paper and agree on a way forward. So we will be able to look at ideas like this and what that could potentially mean, and then take it to the broader membership, the executive board, and the sessions.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah.
Hi, Yang Jiao from China Media Group. Congratulations, Mrs. Coventry. My question is, how do you evaluate the relationships between China and the IOC? And as the newly elected president, what's your plan to promote our relationships? Thanks.
Thank you. Well, the relationship between the IOC and China is very strong. It always has been, and it will continue that way. And for the IOC, we represent 206 national Olympic committees and many different international federations. So the relationships with every single individual is extremely important, and that will be something that I'll take my time with over the next few months. And then again also with the IOC members. So the entire stakeholder group will be able to take time to really get to know each other and strengthen on those relationships.
Okay, these two gentlemen here. Yes, so Brian. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Brian, and then the guy here with the cream shirt.
Brian Pinelli with Hula Sports. Congratulations, Kirsty. I was wondering, and I know you've talked about this a lot, but if you can share a little bit more about your husband, the support role he plays with your two young daughters while you travel all corners of the globe, and a little bit more about your time in the U.S. I mean, and not just obviously competing at Auburn, swimming, but any other time. And what just caught me, I see on your Twitter X account that you put New Jersey, USA. I'm just curious what your connection is to New Jersey and the New York metropolitan area, if I'm reading that right.
I have no idea, so I don't know if it's the right account. Yeah. No, it should. I've never spent any time in New Jersey, so I'm not sure what that's about. But I do want to say a very quick hello to my Auburn family. I had a lot of messages from my teammates when we won our NCAAs for the very first time that started coming in throughout this week. So that teamwork, that experience doesn't ever go away. It's a lifelong friendship, so thank you and War Eagle to them. Yeah, I forget what your other question was.
Just the support that you received from.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Background.
My husband and I, we had to make a decision when I was given the job of Minister of Youth, Sport and Art in Zimbabwe. We knew that that was going to be a full-time commitment from my point of view. I also was just pregnant with my first daughter. So I think baby girls also bring me luck, other than just also being in Greece. And we had made a decision as a couple that we wanted one of us to always be available for the kids, and he was able to keep his work online. So we really benefited from that. But my parents live really close by, and we have a really strong network that supports us. And part of our culture is it takes a village to raise a child, and we are certainly a couple that does that.
Okay, yeah, gentlemen, and then the lady to your right, yeah.
Mrs. Coventry, congratulations, Ronendo van Aert. Two questions. One, regarding international conflict. Beyond protecting the athletes, has the IOC got any role on the merit of conflicts? You mentioned Africa, there's the Middle East, there's Russia. Mm-hmm. And another thing, if you could elaborate on key figures in your campaign, because it's a bit hidden from us while it's going on. So who would you like to thank within the campaign itself?
Thank you. I will withhold that for now because I still need to see some of them. But they know who they are that helped me with my campaign, and I truly want to thank them. not just because they helped with this historical win, but they truly believed in me and my vision from the get-go. So I'm very appreciative to them. When we're looking forward, we'll keep pushing. In terms of the conflicts, as I said, it is going to take what I think is creating again a group of us as the IOC to sit down and really come up with some policies or a framework. There's more and more conflicts. Each conflict is slightly different to the other, but I do think we need to create a general policy or framework that will guide us in how to deal with these different conflicts from around the world.
Yep, and then we'll come over here. Duncan. Yep.
Hello. First of all, Ms. Coventry, congratulations.
Thank you.
I dare to say my forecasts were correct. And as a woman, I'm doubly happy.
Thank you.
How do you feel that your election took place in Greece, the country that gave birth to the Olympic Games?
Thank you. Well, it didn't just give birth to the Olympic Games, it also allowed me to win my first Olympic gold medal in 2004. So it holds a very special place in my heart. It's been an incredible experience being here and visiting ancient Olympia a few days ago. It was very calming to be in the place where it all started. And it's, again, I said to the members that as a 9-year-old girl watching the Olympic Games in Barcelona 92 on the TV, I didn't ever think that I would now be in this position where I get to give back to a movement that's changed my life. And I'm really honored, and it makes it even that much more special that I get to do that, and this has happened here in Greece.
Okay, we're coming to an end, I think. Let's go Juice Files. It's Duncan Mackay.
Hi, Kirsty. Duncan Mackay from the Zeus Files. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are your immediate plans? Because you're still Zimbabwe Sports Minister. Do you have plans to relocate to Lausanne on a full-time basis?
Yes, I do. Right now, I want to go and thank everybody for supporting me and really let this sink in and have a little bit of an embrace and a hug. But I will be moving to Lausanne. I will have the conversation with my president in Zimbabwe, and there's no way to do both. So they knew, and they were very supportive of me running in this campaign. And I believe that while they may be a little sad to say goodbye, they are also really proud that we'll be moving into another chapter.
Okay, probably the last question right over there. Yeah, I think a question from French media.
Bonjour, oui,
Voilà.
Bruno Fraioli de sportbusiness.club. Je vais poser ma question en français. J'avais la question sur justement Lausanne, mais je vais parler plus lentement.
Yes.
Avez-vous une pensée pour Alice Milla qui s'est battue pour le sport féminin et les femmes dans le mouvement olympique? Merci. Et félicitations. Et aujourd'hui, c'est le printemps, c'est un jour de renouveau.
Yeah. Thank you. As I had said before, there's been so many incredible women, and she's one of them that has broken down barriers for younger generation of women to stand on their shoulders. And I'm incredibly grateful for them to have broken through so many different cultural barriers that have allowed me to be standing here today. And as I'd mentioned, Anita de France was one of those women. And there's many, many more that have fought for equality. We still have a little ways to go. We really need to see the equality of female leaders throughout our entire ecosystem when it comes to international federations and national Olympic committees. And we will continue to fight for that.
Thank you very much. Well, that's 20 questions, which I think is a record in recent years. 20 questions and 20 answers. So thank you very much, Kirsty. Maybe a sign of the future. And I'm sure we'll be seeing everyone later. So thank you very much.
Thank you.